Yo, what is going on, guys? I'm Swizzle here, and today I'll be talking about all of the new fish, bugs, and sea creatures coming to Animal Crossing New Horizons in September. Now, I will cover the Northern Hemisphere and the Southern Hemisphere, what type of fish, how much they sell for, where to catch them, how big their shadow is, and when to catch them. So yeah, without further ado, let's get right into the new Northern Hemisphere fish. So, coming to the Northern Hemisphere in September for fish, we have the pike that sells for 1,800 bells, found in the river with a large shadow size and can be found all day. Next, we have the cherry salmon that sells for 1,000 bells. It can be found in the rivers, but only on clifftop rivers and in ponds. It has a medium to small shadow, and it is found from 4 p.m. to 9 a.m. Next, we have the char. It sells for 3,800 bells. You can find it in the river, the clifftop rivers, or the pond. It has a medium to small shadow, and you can find it from 4 p.m. to 9 a.m. Next, we have the golden trout. It sells for 1,500 bells. You can find it in the river clifftops. It has a medium to small shadow size, and it is from 4 p.m. to 9 a.m. Next, we have the salmon, which we have not seen before, which sells for 700 bells in the river mouth. And if you do not know where the river mouth is, it'll be on the screen right now. So yeah, it has a medium to large shadow size, and it is available all day. Next, we have the king salmon that sells for 1,800 bells, that is found in the river mouth. It has a huge shadow size, and it is found all day. Next, we have the mitten crab that sells for 2,000 bells, found in the river, has a small shadow size, and is available from 4 p.m. to 9 a.m. Next, we have a sturgeon that is finally returning. He sells for 10,000 bells. He can be found in the river, only in the mouth of the river though. Has a huge shadow size and can be found all day. Now, for the bugs for the Northern Hemisphere that we have coming in September, we have the common butterfly, which sells for 160 bells, and you can find it flying around from 4 a.m. to 7 p.m. Next, we have the yellow butterfly that can be found from 4 a.m. to 7 p.m. Flying around, sells for 160 bells. Next, we have the Monarch Butterfly, sells for 140 bells. You can see it flying around from 4 a.m. to 5 p.m. Next, we have the cricket that sells for 130 bells, that is on the ground from 5 p.m. to 8 a.m. Next, we have the bell cricket that sells for 430 bells on the ground from 5 p.m. to 8 a.m. Next, we have the red dragonfly that sells for 180 bells, that is flying around from 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. Next, we have the Violin Beetle that sells for 450 bells on tree stumps all day long. Next, we have the pill bug that sells for 250 bells. You can find it by hitting rocks, and it'll like pop out from 11 p.m. to 4 p.m. Next, we have the Centipede that sells for 300 bells, and you can find it by hitting rocks, and it'll pop out from 4 p.m. to 11 p.m. Now, for the sea creatures for the Northern Hemisphere, we actually have 5 of them. First, we have the chambered Nautilus that sells for 1,800 bells. It's a large shadow size. It is a quite slow creature, so just keep that in mind when you're trying to look for one, from 4 p.m. to 9 a.m. Next, we have the Turbine Shell that sells for 1,000 bells. It has a small shadow size. It is also slow, like the chambered Nautilus, and is available all day. Next, we have the Oyster. I believe that we've seen this before, and it is returning. It sells for 2,000 bells, small shadow size. It has moderate short lunges, so I'm gonna guess that means like it moves slowly in like different like chunks. I don't know how to explain it, but yeah, it's available all day. Next, we have the umbrella octopus. Sells for 6,000 bells, small shadow size, quick short lunges all day long. And then finally, we have the sweet shrimp for 1,400 bells, small shadow size. It is very slow, from 4 p.m. to 9 a.m. So yeah, that is it for the Northern Hemisphere. So all of you Southern Hemisphere players, here you go. This one's for you. For all the fish that we have in the Southern Hemisphere, we have the tadpole that sells for 100 bells in the pond, tiny, all day long. Next, we have the loach that sells for 400 bells in the river, small shadow size, all day long. Next, we have the cherry salmon, sells for 1,000 bells in the river, cliff tops, or the pond, medium to small shadow from 4 p.m. to 9 a.m. Next, we have the char, sells for 3,800 bells in the river, cliff tops, or the pond, medium to small shadow size from 4 p.m. to 9 a.m. Next, we have the golden trout that sells for 15,000 bells, which is actually a lot. In the river, cliff tops, has medium to small shadow from 4 p.m. to 9 a.m. And finally, we have the barred knife jaw that sells for 5,000 bells in the sea, medium to small shadow all day long. Now, as for the bugs for the Southern Hemisphere, we have the yellow butterfly that sells for 160 bells, that is flying around from 4 a.m. to 7 p.m. Next, we have the tiger butterfly that sells for 240 bells, that is flying around from 4 a.m. to 7 p.m. Next, we have the Peacock Butterfly that sells for 2,500 bells, that is found flying by hybrid flowers only from 4 a.m. to 7 p.m. Next, we have the Mantis that sells for 430 bells, that is found on flowers from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. And we have the Oyster Mantis that sells for 2,400 bells on white flowers from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Next, we have the Honeybee that sells for 200 bells, flying around from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Next, we have the Stink Bug that sells for 120 bells, that is on flowers all day long. And finally, we have the Man-Faced Stink Bug that sells for 1,000 bells on flowers from 7 p.m. to 8 a.m. Now, as for the sea creatures for the Southern Hemisphere, this is our final topic here. We have the Chambered Nautilus that sells for 1,800 bells. It has a medium shadow size. It is very slow, so keep that in mind. 4 p.m. to 9 a.m. Next, we have the Turbine Shell that sells for 1,000 bells. Small shadow size. It is slow. Next, we have the Spider Crab that sells for 12,000 bells, which is actually a lot. It is a huge shadow size and it is quick. So this is one of the more rare sea creatures. So, just look out for this one. It is available all day long. And yeah. Next, we have the Firefly Squid that sells for 1,400 bells. It has a tiny shadow size. It is slow and it is available all day long. And finally, we have the Umbrella Octopus. It sells for 6,000 bells, medium shadow size, quick short lunges, and it is available all day long. So yeah, that is it. That's all we need to cover. Thank you guys for watching. That is all. If this helped you out, if you enjoyed either one of those, hit that like button, subscribe, comment, for some more Animal Crossing content, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.
I know exactly what you want from me. I know you don't feel the same way I do.